Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima. Over the course of 2026, I'm playing the game Persona 3 Reload. Only I'm trying something a little different. I'm going to match the pace of the game. That's right, I'm playing this game one real day at a time. Please enjoy this different take on the game in a series I'm calling Persona a Day. Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Wednesday, June 3rd. Okay, everybody ready? Let's then start off by taking a look at what we did yesterday on Tuesday, June 2nd. Once again, we're in a new month already, which still feels kind of weird, but the days are going by one at a time, and it's a new month. And it was a day of school again. And it was one of those where I had the chance to stay awake in class or sleep. So as I always do, I stayed awake. The teacher was talking about ghost stories in his own way, and that's kind of been a recurring theme this last couple days. But I stayed awake and listened and made some academic progress there. So that was rewarding. And back to the idea of ghost stories. This past weekend, there was a student found unconscious in front of the school, and nobody really knows why. There were a lot of rumors on what it could have been, like apathy syndrome, or the rumors were going everywhere. And they've kind of evolved to the point now where the consensus is it must be something supernatural. It's got to be ghosts or something of the sort. So that is the buzz around school. Everybody's kind of talking about that. Yukari is actually not a fan of ghost stories, and in trying to act brave, she more or less ended up volunteering herself to be the one to look into the ghost stories on behalf of our Group C's back at the dorm. The thought process was that potentially there is some level of validity to the rumors and some core of truth, so since she claimed that it's obviously no big deal and tried to put on that brave front, it was decided that she was the most capable then to lead the investigation into the actual ghost story side of it. So she hasn't been too happy the last couple nights having to spend her time dealing with a topic she's not a fan of. But Junpei and I are going to keep our ears out and try to help her out there as well. So after school yesterday, I had the chance to go around the school and just talk to other students and kind of get their first-hand take on what they think is going on. And we heard all sorts of the usual rumors about how it's got to be ghosts and all just those tropes and typical things that tie to ghost stories. I heard this from a friend, or this happened on the third floor here, or you'll never believe, all that sort of unsubstantiatable stuff. But we talked to everybody that had anything new to say. I even had to double back to the school at one point and go down the courtyard corridor with the persimmon tree and back up to the roof just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But we really, I think, did canvass the area well and cover all our bases. Didn't have anything to take back to Yukari yet as far as information goes, but we'll keep looking at that as the week goes forward. But with some time after that, I made my way to the fashion club with Bebe. We haven't really done anything with him since we joined the club a week ago, so I wanted to catch back up with him. It seemed like a fairly standard club activity time. We were both working on projects and sewing something. He seemed very focused. I was surprisingly confident in my ability as well there. But afterwards, he had some time and invited me to go to a tea shop with him to get some tea and sweets. He'd never been to a Japanese tea place like that and was really excited to try it. He's a transfer student from France who's always loved Japanese culture, so this was one of those opportunities he's always wanted to have, and he had this idea in his head about what it's supposed to be like, and just how excited he was to go do something like that. So of course I had to go with him. That sounded like a lot of fun. And it was. We both came away from there having enjoyed some really good tea and some really good sweets. And he seemed super happy. He had a big grin on his face and reaffirmed just how much he loves Japanese culture and how he's always loved it. And he has an aunt back home who supported the transferring student status to get him over here to Japan to study here alongside all of us. And he was just so thankful for that. And he said, there's so many things I want to ask you about Japan. And we don't have the time today. It's already so late. I can't believe it. But we'll have to do this again sometime. And I can't wait to spend more time with you in club. So we made a really good connection. And it seems like we both get on well. And he definitely wants to talk to me more. So I was excited about that. But he wants me to come back and keep working with him and enjoying the time together, so we're going to do that. So as we parted ways after getting that tea and those sweets, we both felt closer, we felt more like friends, and the Temperance social link rank increased to rank 2. So that was nice. Nice to have another new friend and another place to spend our time in the afternoons. But with that, I headed back to the dorm. Yukari was still there, kind of looking glum and feeling depressed that she has to research this ghost topic. Junpei was still kind of chuckling about it, but a couple glares from her quieted him down pretty fast. And I'd considered going to Tartarus because everyone was available. But like we'd been saying this week, it looks like our level is more or less in line with everyone else's average level. And we've all made it to the same barrier floor now, so we can't climb any further right now. So it wouldn't have been bad to go, but I wanted to go do some other things and focused on the social skills side of things. And I had to weigh my options again on that front as well, and ended up choosing to work a shift at Chagall Cafe. We did that Monday as well, but they texted yesterday saying they were especially busy and they were paying a premium to go work there. And that just seemed like the best thing to do as a productive member of the team. You might remember that the night before we were warned by the mysterious boy that, again, another full moon is coming, and again we'll face another challenge. I don't have specific details on what that is, so it's hard to exactly prepare. So part of my thought was having that extra bit of money from working that shift was going to potentially be useful in maybe updating our gear. I think we're as current as we can get there, but if nothing else, to acquire some more healing items over the weekend, just to make sure we're as prepared as possible for Monday. And so by working there, we gained some good bit of money, as well as some points in some progress points in charm and courage, both of which we're well in need of. So it felt like a really good use of our evening time. It was productive, it met the goals we were searching for, and it felt like a better use of time than something potentially more selfish. So I'm sure we got back to the dorm, feeling tired from working a busy shift, but also feeling like we accomplished something we set out to do. A good feeling. So we settled in for the night to rest up and get ready for another new day. And with that brings us then into today, Wednesday, June 3rd. So I'll take us over to the game and we'll see how that goes for us. We'll be right there. Okay. So this is where we left off after working at the cafe. We gained our point of charm and our point of courage, and neither one was enough to take us to the next rank in those, but we got both of those, and it was late, so we headed back to the dorm. So here it is, Wednesday the 3rd, just like it is on our calendars today. And here we are at school. Still kind of different to see everybody in their summer uniforms, but it looks a lot more comfortable. So we got Junpei here. Sup, dude? Hey, are you looking into that ghost story? Like, asking around about it? My initial knee-jerk thought was a little, but we talked to everybody we could, so yeah, of course we are. Really? Shouldn't we just let Yucatan handle it? We could, but isn't that kind of cruel knowing that she doesn't like ghost stories? I think she's taking this way too seriously, dude. Guess she can be pretty stubborn. I've got better things to do. Besides, I had plenty of scary stories up my sleeve. I bet the story I told the other night made your hair stand on end. They say it's true, though. Alright, classes ended for the day. So we had our morning classes, we had our lunch, and we had some different afternoon classes. After a full day of school, now here we are. Let's get the game saved. We've got not as much mail as some days, but enough. We've got Odagiri, work-related. This is Odagiri. Today's student council duties are the same as usual. Come to the student council room if you'd like to attend. That's all. It's been about a week since we've been to the student council, and he has sent us a couple messages since then of meetings we haven't exactly attended. So that might not be a bad way to spend the day. Bebe, good to hear from him again. We saw him yesterday. So of my choices, he probably wouldn't rank as high on that list right now. Tom Dono, did I spell your name correctly? Let's sew together. I'm in the hallway. Maiko. How are you doing? How are you? I'm doing okay. I hope she's doing okay. I mean, she says she's doing okay, but that'll be another social link to consider. It was just the other day, we spent a little bit of time with her at the playground and met her friend Stripey. And an ad from Wakatsu here. Healthy brain food. Are you eating well? Keeping a well-balanced diet nourishes your brain, which in turn can improve your studies. We prepare great food with all our hearts just for you. Remember, a healthy brain stems from healthy food. Wakatsu's got your back. Alright, and how did people spend their day? 100% on social links, or as close to it as rounding works. So I'm sure that's where the way we'll go. Oh, there's Yuko on the list as well, and the old couple. I still am kind of leaning more towards Odagiri, but see the old couple there, that has been a little while since we've spent any time with them as well. Let's take a look at our social links and see. They're probably both around level 3. Well, they're level 4 for the old couple, level 3 for Odagiri. Level 4 for Yuko. That was the track team. Yuko's down here at strength. She's level 3. Level 3 for Maiko as well. So I guess from a balancing everybody's standpoint, technically Bebe is the one who's behind, but we just spent time with him yesterday. Not that that means we can't spend time with him today, but from a mixing up and kind of balancing things out sort of vibe. I kind of do want to get back and see what Odagiri's been working on at the student council. If we do end up that way, I'll pull up the details from our last session so that I don't talk redundantly on that, but we left off with some information, so I want to see where that went. But let's start off by talking again about, the ghost stories and see if there's anybody else in school that's got anything new to say compared to yesterday. Junpei's got something anyway. Well, I guess we should do some digging. I wonder what people will say. It's a ghost story, after all. That's true. I mean, how seriously do you take stuff like that? It might, I'm sure there are some that would really lean into it and want to talk deeply about a story, but at the same time, I could also see people just seeing it as a joke and not really giving you anything credible to work with. I'm an earnest student. What can they tell me? Yamagishi-san is absent today, too. We've got some informed students we can listen to. You know how ghost stories... ghost stories about the school are kind of popular right now. I'm not too good with that kind of stuff, so no talking about it, okay? It's not that scary. It was just like... if you're the last one left in the school buildings, you'll hear a creepy PA announcement. A sobbing old lady's voice comes from the speakers, and if you don't leave the school within 42 seconds, they'll find your corpse covered in bright red blood. That's all. That's all. That's nothing, right? Yeah, there's a few more people around from, compared to the other days. A somber student. The girl who collapsed is in my class. I heard she would run away from home and stay out all night. Maybe she got caught up in something bad. Still everything grounded in rumors. Other than knowing specifically which class the mystery student came from. So, of course, we've got an anxious student over here, given everything that's going on. One of the students who collapsed was in my sister's class. I guess she was running away from home as well. I heard she always hung around those thugs at that one place. Something must have happened there. Actually, that could be a potentially valuable lead. The only place I can think of where there are thugs is one of our regular spots this playthrough with the Weak Cat, back behind the Port Island Station in those outskirts. You never really have to twist my arm to head that way since we had to go there to visit the Weak Cat, but that gives us another reason to head that way today. But while I'm in school for the moment, I'm going to go down this hallway and head down the other areas as well. Actually, probably should have headed up to the roof when I was upstairs. Got the phone-addicted student over here. I thought I could turn up some info, but I didn't find anything at all. All three passed out, but they were in different classes. Different clubs, too. So my investigation isn't going very well. Particularly because all their friends were those thugs. And I obviously don't want to deal with them. Okay, well, there's another bit of corroborating evidence potentially pointing us in a direction. Nobody else out here, but it is just nice to be out here and take that break to see nature. And I didn't really expect to see anybody in this hallway, but as I said the other day, I'd kind of regret intentionally ignoring it and missing something. And by that logic and saying that out loud there, I feel like I really have to go back upstairs now and just head to the roof to make sure. It wasn't that long from those stairs, thankfully. Oh, good. There's somebody up here. It would have been a bummer to miss them. How you doing, lazy student? We saw he and his girlfriend in the library the other day when I was there with Chihiro. I can't understand why people are freaking out over these ghost stories. I mean, running around school screaming and spreading rumors? They all just need to grow up. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could see it that way. Here I am trying to enter the storage room. Cleaning tools are not normally used. That are not normally used are stored away here. Yeah, let's actually go in the proper doors. So now we've talked to everybody in school. So yeah, let's head off to that Port Island station and try to follow up some of these rumors pointing us to some thugs. Maybe they'll know something. I don't see anybody out here who seems to know anything else. We'll start at the station itself and work our way over to the outskirts. Got a lot more apathy syndrome people showing up, as they've been saying. That was today's presentation of apathy syndrome. Let's see what's showing at screenshot. Love Jatem Sareo is now showing. High school students pay 1,500 yen. I could work on my academics. It'd be good to see a movie, but with everything else to do, I don't think we need to see one today. A lot more apathy syndrome people showing up today. And you'll remember, or maybe you won't, but I'll remind you that we spent a little bit of money the other day buying another seedling from the flower store there. It's a potato seedling. Because tomorrow, I believe it is, we can harvest the tomatoes on the roof and plant something new. Wait, Cat, how you doing? Have you seen anything going on back here? Mew, you say. The brown cat's still over there. Well, it looks like there's nothing new to hear here. I heard people saying that dude is stronger than he looks. He's a loner. His clothes are kind of old, but he's cool. This is the same stuff they'd said before. I remember this one dude who was different from the rest. He comes here, but he never talks to anybody. He just sits in his little corner. I wonder what he's up to. Actually, even that could potentially tie into our investigation if they're both talking about this guy that comes back here and is different from everybody else. Maybe this person is tied to the goings-on in some capacity. I guess we can't get any new information right now, but again, we're doing the responsible part and following up on those leads. We'll make a brief stop up here as we do. I'm not here to do any shopping too. Gamer student, how you doing? Let's see. Start the game, insert 1 coin. Control it using 2 buttons, and what are you looking at? I'm not just reading the directions, I'm carefully planning my moves. That's exactly what he said the other day. I could have sworn that was blue, but I must have misseen it in the quick pass by. Game Parade, what's available today? You're the answer to work on academics. Edgar's House of Fortunes to work on the Persona's magic. I wonder what the pharmacist thinks about seeing all these people outside that have these symptoms, this apathy syndrome. I wonder, since nobody really knows what's causing it, it's not really an easy thing to treat. So that's got to be kind of tough for somebody who's in the field of wanting people to be better. Yeah, we're not really here, like I said, to shop for anything. We're just here to stop in, say hi, and hope he's making the best of his week. We'll look to do more shopping potentially on Saturday during his sale, though.
Come again, yeah?
I will. We checked Elizabeth's requests the other day, and we're still current on those, so there's nothing new I can accomplish for her. Although I say that, I should probably still check and just make sure there's not a new request that came up since the other day. But while we're here, we'll at least start off with
to the Velvet Room.
Saying hello to Igor, hello to Elizabeth. I hope their week is progressing smoothly. It's already Wednesday. Yeah, I just hope you're taking it easy and everything's going the way you want it to today.
We look forward to your next visit.
Not a long visit, but enough to say hi and keep them in our minds. Elizabeth, have you heard anything about ghosts recently?
Good day.
Just requests? Okay.
Are you accepting a request?
Yep, nothing new. Good to know.
Very well then.
If I hadn't asked, I'd have been wondering if I was missing something. So I've got that peace of mind from talking to her. Yeah, I don't know why I thought about the pharmacist earlier and wondering what his reaction would be, considering Officer Kurosawa every day talks about the apathy syndrome people in and around the city, and it's definitely on his mind, so it's got to be on the pharmacist's mind as well, for similar reasons.
I'm counting on you.
Good. I'm also not here to shop. I bought some stuff the other day, some new boots and a new weapon. If we do shop, it would be Monday, but I'm not sure we'll have the chance to come Monday, so before then we will want to just make doubly sure that we're as equipped as we can be, because Monday is the full moon. But I'm just here to see how he's doing today, say hi, and hope it's another good day for him.
All done here?
I am.
Come back soon.
So that's saying hi to all of our regular people around the world. Let's see. I was thinking about spending time with the student council today. Can't put the old couple off too far either, because it's been about a week since we spent time with them either. But Odagiri is the emperor. Do I have an emperor? I do. I've got Oberon. That's good. Won't need to pick up another one from the Velvet Room there, which I probably should have checked before I went to the Velvet Room, but I got lucky. So yeah, let's head to the student council today. Actually, they're in the classroom right across the hall from us. I was going to stop in and just see if there's anything new I could tell Yukari. We haven't really technically uncovered much of anything, but if I could keep her informed of what we have found, maybe she'd appreciate that. Probably nothing new since the text bubble there is gray, but did you find out anything about the ghost story? I'm going to prove to everyone that it was just a rumor. And I'm not scared, all right? She's trying to stay positive. You got to give her credit for that, at least. And student council room here. And before I go in, let's check that social link like I said I was going to do. This will just get us caught up on what happened last time in a more detailed way than I might be able to vaguely remember from a week ago. Hidetoshi Odagiri is a second year at Gekkokan, a member of the Student Council's disciplinary committee, and not very popular with the other students. But last time we were there, Odagiri now has the job of finding whoever was smoking at the school. However, some students are not happy with the methods he's looking to use in finding the culprit. That's an interesting write-up because I don't think we've heard anything about his methods yet. He just said that he was going to investigate and asked us to keep an ear out as well and to help him out as best we can. Well, I guess on today's episode with Odagiri, we'll see how that goes. It's the student council room. The student council meets today. I've got Oberon's, that'll help me get even closer. So let's spend time with the student council. I spent some time working with the student council. Nice to see everybody here. There's Chihiro. We got Mitsuru up front there. The hours flew by as I worked on many tasks, or worked hard on my tasks.
I don't see Odagiri. Is he absent today?
No. I'm pretty sure he came to school today.
It seems odd for him not to be at a student council meeting, especially since he's the one that reminded us of the meeting today.
Then where is he?
Also kind of makes me wonder, on those times where I skip a meeting, is Mitsuru just as curious about where I am? Did Tom come to school today? Why isn't he here? Where is he? What is he doing? I can't be everywhere at once, but...
Probably busy playing detective asshole.
A bit of language in front of company, but... I guess that sums up what people think of him and what he's doing.
Ah, so this is what Fushimi was telling me about.
Okay.
I see.
And you might remember that after the last time we had encountered the situation, that secretary student there was not overly fond of Odagiri and the way he wanted to handle things by himself. So maybe that's what that write-up was talking about. But they were going back and forth on whether or not this was a matter for the entire student council or just for the disciplinary committee. And after they left, Chihiro said that she wanted to go tell the president. She really thought that the council needed to be informed, and so she was going to go find Mitsuru. So it seems like she did. And she told her, and that's why this scene here, that's what Fushimi was telling me about. So that's how she knows. Although she probably has, her ear to the ground in a lot of other ways, so she would have heard it from a different direction as well. But Chihiro really stepped up and did what she thought was right there. I thought that was cool.
Well, his intentions are good, so you can't really blame him. But I understand how you feel.
Yeah, that was kind of the back and forth I felt with it too. Odagiri is very much a right and wrong with no middle ground approach to things.
You're all free to leave now. Good work today.
Action
You hear me?
music.
I want to see evidence, smart guy.
I don't need evidence. I already know everything about you.
Oof. A line like that doesn't go very far in my book. I don't need evidence. I've already made my decision. Not the right approach to things.
Like how you were arrested for beating up that guy in the park who snitched on you, right?
Whoa. He's still at it? This is the third time today. My boyfriend was so pissed after he was accused. This guy's really asking for it.
Keeping quiet will only make things worse for you. If it's really not you, then give me some names. And don't worry, I won't tell anyone. You have my word as a member of the disciplinary committee.
Better fuck off, asshole.
This guy looks like he's about to hit Odakiri. Yeah, I do want to step in there. I mean, things are getting out of hand. Knock it off. Oh. No, that didn't help. I still feel better about that than staying quiet, because if it was going to happen either way, at least I tried to step up. Still,
God, what a shitty day.
not the outcome I wanted. I don't think anybody wanted from this situation. I'm sure Odagiri didn't want to get slugged. I'm sure the student being accused didn't want to be accused of all this stuff. A rough afternoon for everybody involved.
Don't think I'll just let you get away with that. Oh, hey. What is it? Did you need something from me?
The guy can take a punch. So many tough dialogue choices in this game. I don't technically have all the information, so it's hard to pass too much judgment. I mean, if I was complaining earlier about making assumptions and making that be my only judgment, for me to just see what I saw there and take that as the entire gospel, that I would probably be just as guilty as he was if I were to just jump to that conclusion. And it does look like he's hard at work, though his methods leave a bit to be desired in my book, which I guess does lean more towards that going a little overboard idea. And I don't want to just tell him what he wants to hear and say, it looks like you're hard at work, but I don't want to be openly confrontational because I don't know everything he does. I've still only been at this school for just shy of 2 months now. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and just say it looks like he's hard at work. Maybe he'll be able to elaborate more on what I'm not understanding or what I have my misgivings about.
You bet I am. If we turn a blind eye here, there's no stopping this from happening again.
It would be harder, true. Okay, I'll hear you out. I don't want to, instantly, combat everything you say. So, go on.
And once it spirals out of control, there will be nothing we can do. We should nip this problem in the bud while we still can.
Okay. I get where he's coming from on that.
I know what people think of me. Then again, those who fight for justice have always butted heads with others. History speaks for itself.
Again, that's a very black and white way to take things. I'm sure you could find examples from both sides of that, where there have been people that have fought for justice that have been well-liked and accepted because of their methods, and you can find the alternative, where those that have fought for justice have gone to whatever length they can take to get said justice. It's not just a matter of, I want justice, by any means. I get so much of the interactions with Odagiri really feel like that either A or B sort of thing, and never considering a third option.
So let my actions serve as a warning to other offenders. A sensible person like you should understand, right?
It's a slippery slope. I mean, the more you try to preemptively punish things, it just kind of... It's hard to really elaborate on, but it just leads to a feeling of perpetual oppression and just negativity, it feels like. Just accusing all these other students. Like, I know it was you. You did something in the past that was bad, so, that is going to haunt you forever now. And you're always a bad person because of the thing you did that one time. Nobody wants or deserves that. It's weird with this social link especially. He's trusting me more, but if anything, I feel like... Not that I'm distrusting him, but I'm still unsure of his methods. I do want to keep that open mind, because I do think he really does want what's best for the school, but hopefully once we get to know him a little bit more, we can open up to him a little bit more and try to show him our side of things and maybe reach some sort of middle ground. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. Nice to have you. With Odagiri here, though, I feel like we're becoming better friends. Just like that, then, we made it to rank 4 in the Emperor Arcana with the Student Council. Oh, I'm doing really well today, thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. We're playing the game Persona 3 Reload today. It's been a lot of fun, so I hope you enjoy.
I'm going to keep at it for now. You should head home before it gets dark.
That is good advice. Although I hope he takes it easy and knows his limits on who to talk to going forward from here. Yes, this is a daily playthrough of the game. I stream every day, and I've lined up the in-game calendar with the real-world calendar. And with that, I parted ways with Odagiri and went back to the dorm.
I see you're back.
And thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. We've got Akihiko here as we've come in. Oh, you're back. Just a very brief greeting from him. But we are back. Let's head up to the room and take care of our bag. As I've said, it's just one of those little things that doesn't really do anything game-wise, but it just fits my daily playthrough and that after-school vibe of getting in and putting that bag away, so we're not carrying that around all evening. We're actually back up in our room, which we don't always see in regular playthroughs when I played the game before, so it's nice to just use this place as our own place. A couple ads again. Game Parade once again. Come play our popular crane game and try to win a prize. Then stick around and hop into one of our many immersive video games. There's great fun to be had, whether you're alone or with friends. We can't wait to see you. What types of games do I stream? Really, it's mainly been this game. I've been playing it every day as my Persona a Day series. So while I'd like to branch out and do some other things eventually, this has really been my sole focus for a while. And the message from Chagall Cafe here. Part-time position open. We hope everyone is having a great day. Chagall is looking for someone to work at the cafe today. Students may apply, no experience required. This is a paid position, and perks include free pheromone coffee. We look forward to meeting you. We spent the last couple nights working at Chagall. It wouldn't be bad to consider them again tonight, but... we'll keep our options open. I don't want to commit to anything before we've seen what there is to do. Those were all our messages. Let's see how everybody else spent their time as well. Very few people went to Tartarus, a slight 2%. And again, we're seeing everyone's average level is 18, so that's been oddly fluctuating this past week, but we're also level 18 right now, so I don't feel like we're drastically out of place from everyone else. I think maybe we'll look at the daily life activities today, like most people did. But let's also head back downstairs and talk to everybody first. here. Let's use the restroom, get cleaned up a bit, and unwind from the day before we talk to everybody. We've got those healthy tomatoes to harvest tomorrow. That should be good. All right. Let's start back here today. Junpei's got another good-looking meal. Dude, there are rumors all over school. Don't people have anything better to talk about? Now how are we supposed to figure out what's true or not? It's hopeless. That is the challenge when you're talking to everybody about stuff like that. And Yukari, how you doing? Hey, did you do any research on that ghost story, Shima-kun? I did, actually. I talked to as many people as I could. I didn't really find out a whole lot yet, but we've talked to some people.
Really?
I knew I could count on you. But man, there are a bunch of different stories floating around. I can't tell which are real and which are fake. Maybe they're all fake. That is a good point, too. It's so easy to assume that if I'm told a bunch of different things, then some of it has to be true. But there is that alternative where it is possible that none of them are true. I remember I had a teacher in school that liked that in his multiple choice questions. And in addition to that all of the above option, he would also include a none of the above. Maybe choices A through D are all incorrect, and none of these are the right answer. Everybody's eating something good looking tonight. Akihiko's no different.
Yeah.
The level of gossip at school is getting pretty out of hand. Today there were 3 girls going on and on about a certain rumor. I really hope this gets taken care of sooner rather than later. The TV. I almost forgot. We've been watching that pretty regularly. Let's see what's on TV. Rainy season is supposed to begin on the 10th. However, experts predict that there won't be as much rain, leading to water shortages in the summer. For our next story, we'll take another look at apathy syndrome. There are now over 70 cases, and so yes, cases are definitely on the rise as we've seen around town. It's also interesting that they bring up the rainy season starting in about a week. As far as I've seen in game, we haven't noticed any real weather, really. Most days look about as sunny as every other day. I guess it's kind of also that speaks for the season sort of thing, where it is just nice temperate weather usually. And hopefully it's been easy to enjoy it. Hopefully, I'm sure that edge of summer is creeping ever closer every day. I know that's true where I am. Probably nice then to be able to be wearing the lighter clothes for the new season for the students as well then. Well, let's head out. We'll start at the Polonia Mall. If I'm going to end up anywhere, it seems like the Station Mall, probably for a meal or possibly some software at the Net Cafe. We could, again, like I say, work at Chagall, but we've done that the last couple nights. I mean, for the same reasons it was good those nights, it wouldn't be bad to do again tonight, but it's not a super high priority for me. I do want him to balance out, work and having fun. Don't see anything new going on here. It's all the same couples upstairs. Actually, the more I think about it too, there were a couple pieces of software I haven't bought at the Net Cafe yet. I've bought everything that they had currently that deals with social skills, but there were 2, a mind training and a body training, that I have not yet purchased. So that might be something to look at doing tonight. And it was You're the Answer at Game Parade, if I remember right. I do. I'm happy. That's academics, which wouldn't be a bad thing to work on, but I say but. We were kind of looking at the other social stats recently. Since currently we are an unpolished, ordinary, above-average person. Getting courage and charm up a level would be nice, and of those 2, I would probably lean more towards charm, just because we're talking about ghost stories and investigation stuff like that recently. But at the same time, they all need help, so if I can make good progress in any of them, I'm not going to turn it down. Just want to call out, it just distracted me. It was shiny colors, but I like how they've got the fountains illuminated at night. We've got the nice pulsing colors changing around the border there. For any of you regulars, you've heard me talk before about how much I like fountains, so seeing stuff like that, it draws my attention. But you're probably not here to watch me stare at the water, so let's move on with our evening. We'll start off at the station and work our way across the street over to the mall proper. There's not usually anybody to talk to in the evening hours, but we can at least see the sights, the construction work, the prevalence of apathy syndrome that seems to be more and more everywhere. Yep, nobody new to talk to over here. So yes, there's Wild Duck down here. There's Wakatsu Kitchen, Hagakure Ramen, the Azuki Rai place we spent time with the other day. I don't think we can actually go there, but we can take out from Umiuchi beef bowls, but there's nothing to really do there. And the software available, like I say, should just be those two unless they've added something new. Muscle Boot Camp and Mindful Boot Camp. Software for learning how to effectively strengthen your muscles, and software for growing your mind through meditation. I have a vague idea of what each one does, but it's been long enough that I played the game that I don't exactly remember. But I will want to do them at some point, just because I like that completion side of things, and if I'm able to use all the software, it's just nice to empty out a list of things to do like that, and check that off the list, basically. But neither of those really looked like they tied in directly with our social skills. Although, with whatever challenge we have coming up on Saturday, if that is a more tangible stat, that has benefits in its own way as well. Yeah, we could go, to Mandragora at the karaoke and sing. That would give us some courage. I don't think I really want to work another shift at Chagall. It wouldn't be bad. Again, like I say, for the same reasons it was good the other day, it would be good tonight. But it just seems like doing that 3 nights in a row again. I think there have been a couple weeks where we've done 3 consecutive nights of work at Chagall. But maybe because I don't want to, maybe that is where I actually should be, because it is more work. It's taking that time and doing the work now while I can to get ready for what's coming. It does get me the charm and the courage, which are both stats I'm working on. And it could afford me that critical piece of medicine that I would need for whatever Monday is going to throw at us. They'd pay about 3,000 yen, so that would take us up to around 47,000. If I'm going to work on any courage tonight, that's probably my... Well, I could go sing. That is true. I could do that. If I wanted charm, I could go downstairs there to Hagakure. If I wanted academics, I could go play at the arcade. So I do have a good source for each of the main 3 there. Maybe courage is the answer. We haven't gone to sing in a while. It is the main stat I was looking for. It won't actually gain us any money. It'll actually cost us some money to use their room, but I think our character enjoyed doing it last time, and if it can make us more courageous, that would be huge. And if he likes doing it, then that's something out of the recent norm of just going to work a part-time shift every night. Yeah, I think this does kind of sound fun. It's been weeks, maybe a month or so since we've actually been here. Let's do it. How about that? I've said before, this isn't an ideal playthrough of the game. This is our playthrough of the game, so whatever choice we make, it probably doesn't fit the min-max perfect playthrough, but it's our story. I think our character would have fun doing this tonight. Mandragora. Should I spend the night here? Yeah, let's do it. There's no one else I was going to talk to before we end the day, though, right? And we already stopped by Club Escapade, talked to everybody in the dorm, watched the news. Yeah, I think we've done all of our usual stuff. Let's spend time at Mandragora. Singing proudly while not caring what other people think will raise my courage. At only 800 yen. I don't want to just, think of that as nothing, but compared to where we started the game when a couple thousand yen was all we had, 800's less of a hit to our wallet. I can feel like I can afford that. I was shown to a spacious room where I could enjoy solo karaoke to the fullest. I sang many songs with all my heart. I feel like my courage has gone up for not caring what other people think. Oh, good. Look at that. When I first saw just the one music note there, I'm like, oh man, I probably should have just gone to work at the cafe. Which, from, again, a min-max standpoint, that's still probably technically true, but this is the choice we made. But I was rewarded for this choice because look at that. We raised the rank of our courage up to rank 3. We are now determined. Ordinary sounds fine, but determined, that's got a much cooler ring to it, I think. I think that should also make it a lot easier to approach this ghost story investigation side of things. We're not just gonna be like the everyday person and hear it and be, on edge about it or whatever. We are determined to see it through, to focus on what needs to be focused on, and not let the scary things get to us. I'm really happy to see that. And I'm glad our character got to do something fun as well. I really, don't want to discount that side of it either. Saying it's like, man, I should have gone and worked at the cafe because I would have made the same progress plus gotten some charm and some money. It's like, that's true, but would it have been as fun? And he said, he sang his heart out, sang with all of his, all of his heart. So I think he enjoyed that, and we get to walk away feeling more courageous. So I'm going to take that as a win. Even if it's not that perfect win that it could have been. All right. So that is the end of Wednesday, June 3rd. I'll get us back to the desk and let's talk about it a bit. We'll be right there. Okay, so here we are back at the desk. This is the end of Wednesday, June 3rd already. And it was another good day. It was another school day. Another school day where we didn't actually see a whole lot, but the same day of morning classes, lunch, afternoon classes. And that gives us a chance afterwards to follow up and ask more about those ghost story rumors. Before school started, Junpei stopped us at the gate and said, hey, have you been looking at any of the ghost story stuff? I had been, so I told him as much. And he's like, man, I've got other things to do. Why don't you just let her do it? And he kind of seemed to come around after class, though, and say, oh, I guess, why don't we look into it and see what we can do to help as well? Which I'm glad he's on board with. So I walked through the school again and tried to just talk to everybody that had anything new to say. We kind of got back to talk to Junpei and Yukari later, and they'll corroborate, but it seems like everybody's kind of talking about different things, and nobody's got any real points of commonality. The only real thread I found that we were able to not directly follow, but to keep in mind, was a lot of things referenced some thugs in the back alley type areas. That came up from multiple different sources, so I did take a walk over there just to see if I could see anything behind the station. I didn't see anything, but that might be one of those seeds that it's planted going forward for some information. So I do feel like we didn't walk away totally empty-handed, but I don't have a glowing arrow pointing me in the next big destination either. But that's how investigations go, I suppose. But after that, we had some time in the afternoon where I wanted to get back to the student council. It had been about a week since we had attended a meeting. It seemed like the meeting itself went fine. It said I worked with everybody there for hours and time just flew by. And it was weird because as the meeting was wrapping up, we never saw Odagiri. And it seemed unlike him to not attend a meeting. Especially when he, like I said, he was the one that invited me to today's meeting and reminded me that it was happening. But I saw him after the meeting, and he was out, more or less as he put it, investigating the cigarette incident by accusing a student of being guilty. He said he doesn't need evidence. He knows enough about the guy that he must be guilty because of the things he's done in the past. As one would expect, an accusation without evidence like that was not well received by the other student. Obviously, no one would take that very well. And, that student was no different. He said, you've got no evidence. You've got nothing on me. You don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me, and I shouldn't have to defend myself on this. But Odagiri wasn't hearing it. He's like, well, if it wasn't you, then obviously you can tell me who it was, because you people are all the same. You all hang out with each other and all break the school rules. So if you can give me a name, then I can go after that person, and you won't be responsible for it. And eventually, Odagiri kept pushing and pushing, and the student had enough. And he just gave him a nice right hook and said, well, he said some things I'm not going to repeat right here, but you know what he said, and in no uncertain terms, he hit him and he walked off. And it's like, I'm done with you. Stay out of my way, and we won't forget what you've been doing. Odagiri was looking none too good, and a nice mark on his cheek there, kind of calling off for the guy. It's like, I won't forget this. You'll get in trouble. And I did try to, I guess I say I tried. It gave me the option to say, knock it off as things were escalating before the punch was thrown. But even my saying that didn't stop things from happening. But I went over to see how Odagiri was doing, and thankfully he was okay. He didn't seem hurt. Well, I mean, he was a little hurt, but he wasn't badly hurt, so it wasn't one of those he needed instant medical attention or anything like that. But I just said that it looks like you're hard at work, and he's like, "You're damn straight I am. This is what I'm out here doing. This needs to be done." And he feels that if we don't find a culprit and we don't put a clear stop to this and make an example out of whoever did it, then this problem will never be solved and it'll just go on forever. And as I said in the moment, his interactions so far, they seem very extreme. I mean, the fact that he's just accusing someone without any evidence because of past infractions seems like a terrible, terrible approach to things. And so I hope that the closer we get, the more I can kind of reel him back from that slippery slope that he's rapidly sprinting down. But, I mean, he was happy to have me on his side today and that I was there and looking out for him. He said that as we parted ways, that he seems to understand me more, feel like we understand each other better, which was good. I don't want to, make assumptions either. Like I said at the time too, I got mad at him for just assuming somebody was the way they are with limited information. So I need to offer that same benefit of the doubt. I don't really know enough about Odagiri yet to make proper judgments on that. So I have some misgivings on his methods, but I do want to get to know him better before passing judgment on that, or I'm no better than what I was condemning earlier. So we both had a lot to think about in that regard, and I think we both came away feeling good about that because the social link rank increased to rank 4? Is it rank 4 already? So that was nice, and I was glad to just get back to the student council because I don't want to let any of those go too far between attending my responsibilities. So that was how our afternoon went. Headed back to the dorm after that. Had the usual evening time. There was still talk about the ghost stories, and this is where I wanted to circle back to. I talked to both Junpei and Yukari, and they were talking about talking to people after school, and they said, "This is so hard. I've heard so many different rumors that nothing lines up with each other. I'm not sure what's true and what's false." I think it was Yukari that said, everything could potentially be false. Maybe there was no truth given to us in anything we said today. And that was kind of fun for us to consider as well, because that is true. In all these rumors, there might not be any truth to anything we're learning. So to have the mindset that something we hear must be true, it's kind of one of those not technically true things to, I guess, not really bank on. It's so easy to think that if I hear 5 different things, that at least one of them will be true, but it's also entirely possible that all 5 will be false. And it's a lot harder to think that way. So it was nice to have that reminder to take everything said with a grain of salt. But I didn't end up going to Tartarus during the dark hour, because we're at the same average level as everyone else according to the in-game summary, and we've reached a barrier floor. So if we did go, it would be fighting a lot of the same shadow groups that we'd been fighting, which wouldn't be bad because we would still be gaining experience and resources, but I decided I wanted us to do other stuff with our time. I'd considered working another shift at Chagall because they were looking for more part-time work. We did that the last 2 nights and it was good, but as I was kind of hemming and hawing today, it's like I don't want to really just make that all my character does. I want him to have some fun in his life, and I figured we hadn't gone and done any karaoke for a while, and that works on our courage. That was one of the stats I wanted to work on since we're working on investigating this ghost story side of things. And just in general, being more courageous, I feel, would make me more capable as someone making combat decisions for the party. There's that fine line between courage and foolhardiness, but I don't want to run away from conflicts that I would be better off standing my ground on, because I can keep a more rational brain if I've got that courage to see past the fear. And so that's why we ended up going to Mandragora to sing solo karaoke. I was able to sing with all my heart and not care who was listening and work on my courage, while also seemingly having fun. It seems like he really does enjoy going to a place like that, so I thought that was a good balance of something he wants to do as well as something productive. And it wasn't a lot of progress that we gained in our courage. As I said at the time, numerically, it probably would have been better to go work a shift at the cafe, because then we would have had the same amount of courage, plus some charm and some money, but we had the fun from going and singing. And even more than that, it was really nice to see that by gaining this point of courage tonight, that was enough to take us all the way to that new level. We hit the 3rd rank of determined in our courage now, which sounds a lot better than ordinary. Just feeling like we can approach whatever's coming next week at the full moon with a determined mind instead of just a casual, ordinary one. It really feels like I'm growing as a leader and a potential combat participant and just all these things that our life will be better off by having more courage. So we spent time there, we enjoyed what we did, and we gained that point of courage progress. Wrapped up there and headed back to the dorm and got a good full night of sleep. So that should take us into tomorrow feeling like we can accomplish whatever the day throws at us. Hopefully more investigation and understanding something that gives us an actual lead to follow in knowing where the truth lies in this whole ghost story, student issues rumor. But that will be a tomorrow bridge to cross, because with that, we have reached the end of the day. And it was a good day. We saw a lot of different things. It wasn't an especially long day, but we have days like that in real life. Some days are busy and full of things every hour. Other days feel like they just kind of go by at a quicker pace. Today was one of those quicker days. But still a good day overall. With that, we have reached the end of Wednesday, June 3rd. It's been another great day, and I'm so thankful that you were here to enjoy it with me. My name is Tom Shima. I stream this Persona A Day series live every day at 12:30 Eastern Time. If you check the schedule on Twitch, you can also see that time converted to your local time if that's easier for you. I also have a YouTube channel where I upload each one of my daily sessions, so if you missed the day or want to check up on any previous day, I have a playlist available there. But I just hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday. We've already made it to the midpoint of the week, so I hope whatever challenges you've had to overcome at the start of the week have gone well, and that it just gets easier as the week moves on from here. But yes, again, I've been Tom Shima. Thank you for joining me, and I really do hope I can see you again sometime. Thank you so much, and goodbye. With that, we've reached the end of the day. Please look forward to next time to see where the game goes from here. This journey is being streamed live on my Twitch channel if you'd like to be there in person for the experience. Links and schedule details can be found in the description. I'll keep uploading each day's session to this channel so you can keep watching here. Once again, I'm Tom Shima. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again as I continue the series, Persona A Day. What will tomorrow bring?